I said good afternoon. Can you hear me? Yeah. So I hope I have given you sufficient time. So have you gone through the code which we had written together? And are there any questions? So has everyone, I'm not talking to only 20 or 30 out of you. Has everyone completed it to the same level which we had done? Anyone needs any more time to spend on it? You don't, right? So have you tested it also? Because I had not really tested it that time. We just written it together. Have you tested it with the correct inputs and the wrong inputs also? So tell me, are you ready to solve or to integrate that enum part in the assignment, or do you need some more time? Can we go about it? Everyone, anyone wants more time? Anyone wants me to wait? Tell me accordingly. Okay, so I'm not seeing anyone asking me to wait. So here is what the obvious integration is. So here, uh, what I would suggest is, I'll first tell you what we want. I had already told you in the theory session this. Here, if you open day 9 lab, the one which I don't know which project name you are calling it as. I was calling it as day 9 lab. And here, instead of using the string-based department ID, we are going to replace it by the enum. Is the requirement clear? It's not going to take too much time at all. Okay, so what I'll suggest is, let's do you want to do it together? Can we do it in a parallel manner like yesterday, or do you want to go ahead? Everyone is okay with that? Okay, great. So start with the things. Don't touch. This was the solution of your yesterday's assignment. So make a copy of the project. I'm showing you all the steps throughout, and then in the next 10-15 minutes after you do that, I want to give you a quick rundown of how to attach a debugger. So anytime you are not able to figure out what is going wrong in the code, you can attach the debugger and test it. So first instructions first, copy day 9 lab into day 10 lab. So I'm going to call it as day 10 lab. So how do you copy the project? Select the project, Control C and Control V. And while giving the name, since it is a day 10 lab, give the name accordingly. So I'll wait till everyone is finished. Just copy that earlier project which we had integrated starting from yesterday and today into day 10 lab. Tell me when you are done. Have you done the copy? Everyone understood, right? You just have to click on this day 9 lab and Control C, Control V into this, so that I want you to have both the versions, the earlier version which we developed and the one which we are going to integrate. So please open, first say Control Shift W, as in close everything. Otherwise, what happens is you think you are making a change in one project, you do it in other and feel confused. So what is close all? Shortcut, Control Shift W. So there is nothing open now. Now open D10 lab. Objective I'll say again, replace the string by enum, the string department ID by enum. So here, go to SRC, open comma core. And which is the class you are seeing here is only employee. So everyone knows how to create an enum and all that. We had exactly done this. So I'm giving you 5 minutes. Create under the same package. Why I'm saying same package? It is the core, core parts of your employee. Employee has a enum. That is what we are going to add. So I'm giving you 5 minutes. Create the department enum and add couple of departments in it. You can supply any department names. Only thing is, bear that in mind. Since they are all constants, give it all uppercase. Do that. Waiting here for 5 minutes. Create a enum under the same project. I'm sorry, same package with the name department. So since enum is nothing but an internal year class, just keep first letter uppercase and add certain department in that. Do that. Okay, a couple of you are saying done. Let's wait for a minute more so that majority finishes it. You notice so easy to create an enum. So here, okay, so people are saying done. So here, ComApp core, you know there is a drop down list. Simply choose enum. Like I said, the constants, enum constants you can decide. So suppose you are having a sales department, marketing, and let's say R&D. You can keep as many as you want. So people have finished this, people have done it. Okay, so now tell me, you just end up writing only this much, but what is the additional code? Everyone has seen that compiler generates so much of a code. So I'll ask you one by one. When you see the generated code, what will be the class? Which what will be the enum converted into? Answer is class. So that class will it be a final class or abstract class? I have shown, I hope you have, abstract is a wrong answer. Final is the correct answer. Guys, if you see today's data, just a second, in order to help you, if you see date and data, I have attached department.jad file to it. So, anytime you forget it, you can just open it and answer from that also. Okay, so coming back to the point, it is not a abstract class because abstract class must be extended. From enum, you cannot extend. So it will generate a public and final class. What will be the name of the class? Of course, department. Next question. What is the superclass of every enum in Java? Give me the fully qualified class name. Java.lang.enum is a very right answer. Next question. So what will be the class definition? Public, final, class department extends from java.lang.enum. So guys, I always suggest for your own good, open the Java docs and keep it ready. So here you open the Java docs, anytime you log in, either theory session, lab session, do that. And here you search for enum. So you know exactly when we say it is extending from this, it is extending from this class. So now answer, somebody answered me wrongly, maybe because they got confused. This super class is abstract. Okay. And abstract classes cannot be instantiated. So, but we can extend from it. So which is the ultimate super class? Object followed by java.lang.enum and followed by your department. Is the inheritance hierarchy clear? Object, enum, and department. That's your inheritance hierarchy. Great. So tell me, will Java compiler generate any constructor within this class? Does it generate any constructor? Answer is yes. How many? Exactly one. You got that? So there will be one constructor generated. Tell me, will it be private or will it be visible? It is a private constructor. And how many arguments does it take? 2 arguments. Which 2 arguments it supplies? Yeah, minimum is 2. You're right, Ananya. You can have more also. Name and ordinal. And what does it do in that constructor? It is called one-liner. What does it call? There's one-liner, super. And for super, it will pass the name and the ordinal. So open that, please. And here you can click on that constructor, and this is the superclass constructor which it is going to which it is going to call. And since it is protected access specifier, it can be accessed from the package which is java.lang, but our project package is com.app.core. So I can call this constructor from anywhere but for the subclasses. And department is your subclass. You remember protected access specifier within the package acts like a default. Outside the package, accessible inherited by the subclasses. So now everyone knows this much. So tell me, it's an easy question, easiest question. For example, if I ask you HR, for this HR, what will be the name it will pass and what will be the ordinal position it will pass? Name and ordinal for HR. It is HR as a string, okay, because it's a constant, exactly. You saw string name. So within the double quotes, HR, and the ordinal positions begin with 0. So this will be 1. And what that will be for R&D? It will be the quoted string R&D and the 3. Everyone clear? 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So this takes care of your constructor. Now the next question. What will be the data members of this generated class? How many data members you expect to see? Which data members, or how many also? Answer is 4. Okay. So these 4 will be created as data members. Anyone wants to tell me what are the implicit keywords your compiler will add? Public static final, absolutely correct. And what will be the data type of these data members? Will it be int, will it be string, or will it be something else? Answer is department. So what are these constants? What are these data members called? Self-type constants. It's not an object, Avinash. They are called as self-type, which is, what is self? Self is your department. So since they are going to be, if you remember, I'm just writing it so that you have a clear-cut idea. Public static final, and the type will be nothing but department, and the name of the constant, name of the reference variable will be cells. And likewise, there will be HR, marketing, R&D. And since it is a self-type is department, they are often known as self-type constants. Everyone clear so far? Next one. So once you see the static and the static member, you tell me, is this of a type primitive type or a reference type? P or R? It is a reference type. And what type of a reference it is? Outwardly, you can say it is a enum type of a reference. But since you know enum is compiled into class, you can either say enum type of a reference or class type of reference. Both is acceptable. Okay, both are equivalent. Enum gets compiled into a special type of a class. So now tell me, if you don't initialize it anywhere, what will be the default value of this? This will be assigned to what? Reference type of variable. What is the default value? Null. So now tell me, is there anything called as, I'm just writing it as this. Have you seen all of this? So is there any static initializer block which has initialized all these constants? Answer is yes. And you know that exactly. When is JVM going to call the static initializer block? At the time of class loading, exactly once. So whenever you are trying to access this enum, the class will get loaded. And the class loading time, static initializer block gets called. So this is your static initializer block, right? Now tell me, this is meant for initializing your constants. So I will write the left-hand side. You give me the RHS, please. Cells is equal to, type out. This is where the understanding comes to you completely. When you see that static initializer block and all. Absolutely correct. Only thing is, Yogesh, just call the constructor. Okay. So here, static initializer block is calling the constructor. New cells, calling the constructor of this. And what are the two arguments you are passing to this is the constant name is cells and the ordinal position is 0. So are you understanding, guys? Exactly. Sorry. My mistake. I'm so sorry. Not new cells, new department. I meant. My bad. So here, new department. So this is the self type constant, means the department class is getting instantiated with what? The constant name as cells and the ordinal position as 0. And likewise, just do it once. I don't fill up all the things, too much to write. Just do it once for R&D. When you do it on your own, you get the feel. What that will be for R&D? Obvious question. Similar things again. So new department and R&D. Of course, you're right. So it is the private constructor, but the static initializer block is in the same class. So the private code, or rather private members, can be accessed by the same class. So new department. And here, what we are saying is the argument is R&D and 0, 1, 2, 3. So for example, I've used 4 ordinals. So this. Are we completely clear? Now the next thing. There are 2 important methods. So this was your static initializer blocks. Can you tell me which are the 2 important methods which your compiler generates automatically and adds it? There are exactly 2 important methods. Exactly. Values and value of. So here, let's talk about you're right. So give me, you are absolutely right when you said values is also there and the value of is also there. So are these the static methods or non-static methods? S or NS? They are the static methods. And what is immediately, you do the, you understand what is happening. So it is public, static. I'm first talking about your values method. So tell me, what is the return type of this values? You know the whole answer. It is an array. Array of what? Array of enum type. What is the name of our enum? Department. So it will be nothing but public static department array. And the name of the method is values. So this is your one. And then what it does is it simply iterates over all these constants and gives you the result. So that is one method declaration. And what is the other one? You tell me. Public static again. So now you are talking about value of. What is the return type of value of? Yes, value of returns you the department. It's a converter. It's a parser. So you are absolutely right. So department. And what is the method name? Value of. And what goes in is nothing but the string name. So this is your constant name which goes in. And what it returns is the department. But if you give the name of the constant, other than these related, enumeration is what? Set of related constants, which is the exception your JVM will throw. Answer is, of course, right? Illegal argument exception. And it will tell you the message properly that whatever you have given is not the part of, this is not the part of enum. Last question before we go ahead. Is this a checked exception or is it an unchecked exception? It's an unchecked exception. So compiler never forces you to, handle it. So there won't be any compiler error even if you don't handle it. So that is all about, like I said, first look at the enum. Last one, before I go ahead. Will you be able to override? Oh, sorry, scratch the question. Open the Java docs because first I need to show you something. So when you open the enum class, search for a method toString. So let me ask you a question directly. Has this enum class overridden object classes toString method? Answer is yes. Don't trust anything unless until you check it out. So Control F toString. And you can see that they have declared here, defined your toString. And you know now, you should look for a word overrides toString in the class object and see what it is returning. What is it returning? Returns the name of this enum constant. So your enum class, which is the super class of this department, has already overridden the toString. So tell me, Will you be able to further override it in your department enum? It's a Boolean question. Will you be overrided further? Answer is yes. And we had done it also. Okay. So if you want just to check whether it is really true or false, at the rate override. And everyone knows the definition, declaration of this public string to string. And here you can, if you want to confirm whether it is really true or not, in to string of department, so that you know that this is what is producing, and you can return anything. For example, I want to say just an example. I'm not saying it as a correct one. I mean exact one. I want to print the ordinal. For example, I want the output as 0 if and the cells. If it is HR, 1 colon HR. You can do that. So here, how do you access the ordinal position? There is a method called as ordinal. So simply say ordi and you will find the method name ordinal. If you want to add, I just mute all so that there's no crosstalk. Okay, so here I say 0. So whatever ordinal position, and everyone knows how do you get the name of the constant? There is a method called as name. Guys, is this compulsory to override? Absolutely not. It is there, but if because these are all popular questions, people ask you a lot about enum in core Java interviews. So here you should know which methods you can override, which methods you cannot. So toString can be overridden. But do you notice the compiler error here? Tell me how to solve this compiler error. My line number 4. Just add the semicolon. If you simply declare the name of the, enum constants, you don't require it. But the moment you add additional code, such as overriding form of toString, tomorrow I'll show you constructors, additional constructors you can add the data members, etc. So then you can, then it can be done. Then you require a semicolon. Is everyone clear so far? Now I'll give you 2 minutes to find out the answer. Don't answer me blindly. What is the clue? Clue is in the Java docs. So the question being asked is, I'll give you the question in writing. These are all popular questions. Can you override equals? Okay, 2 questions I will say. Has enum class overridden? Has enum class overridden the equals method of object class? Is the question 1. And the second question is, can you means can your enum override it further? Don't give me answers without checking. So spend a minute and then give me answer. These are the 2 questions you are answering on enum. Okay, so Abhijit has given me the answer yes and no. You are very right. So I hope you are getting the confidence that the moment you refer to Java's, half your problems are over. So please, your answers are right. Answer is yes, it has overridden. And how it has overridden it? In 2 minutes, we will see. What is it? It has replaced the reference equality by something else. And here, we'll see. And here the answer is no. So how do we confirm? Here. Look for Control F equals. And you can see. So here, the moment you see the method as declared as final, can you override it further? That answer is obvious. Yes, absolutely right, Pushkarash. So here, the final methods cannot be overridden further. So your enum, your super class has already overridden it, but you can't, you can't, what is it called? Override it further. And what it does is returns true if the specified object is equal to this enum constant. So here, true if the 2 constants are same. So understand me correctly. Here, when you talk about enum constants, these are taken as singletons. I told you I will explain that word later. So what is the meaning of singleton? A single instance in the entire application. So remember this, guys. Right now you don't need it. Later you'll need. So individual of these constants such as sales, R&D, HR, marketing are created as the unique singleton instances of the department. So here, listen to this carefully. Whether you use equals method, which you have seen, or whether you use double equal to, that is reference equality and content equality, are going to return the same value. In short, what I'm trying to say is, here, unlike string class, in string class, I told you, you have to use equals method to check the content equality. But because in enum, each constant is unique, a single instance of that specific type, you will never have, you will not require to call equals. Even if you use double equal to, the testing of the equality will be fine. So more on this, of course, after testing and all that. And the last question. These are all, like I said, popular question. So tell me, is enum comparable? Again, all answers are in their, what is it called? In the Java docs. What's the answer? Answer is yes. How do you see this? I hope guys now you got used to it little bit. So just go to the top and you check. Interface, all implemented interface, forget serializable, we are not there. So enum is comparable. So which is the method you expect to see the moment you say comparable? Answer is compare to. So now guys, you know 3 classes, or actually 4. String is comparable. Date is comparable. Yes, compare to is the answer. Enum is comparable. And in last 10-15 minutes, I showed you wrapper classes, if you are present then. So all wrapper classes are also comparable. Means they have given you the comparison, comparison criteria. So search for compare to and take a look at it and tell me, can you further change this comparison criteria? You just have to look at the keyword. Answer is no. And then you tell me, read this. Answer is already here. Sorry. So here, read this much. Read only this much. And I'll ask you a question. The answer is all here. So you read this and let me ask you a question. So answer is yes. And here I'm asking you, what will be the output of this line? So I'm saying system.println. So first hear the question. I'm saying what, sorry, I want to ask you this. Okay, of course, compare this. If I call department.rnd dot compare to department.hr. So I'm giving you 3 options, -1, 1 or 0. So let me see what you are saying. So you are saying 1. So R&D to HR. So here, how it is done? Here, it is going in the increasing order. So HR, it is dependent on the ordinal position. So tell me, what comes first, HR or R&D? The HR comes first. So HR has it is going by the ordinal numbers. So naturally, HR is before R&D. So like you said, if I compare R&D to HR, it is definitely going to return a +1. So the points, all these points will be clearer when we go further. But these are the favorite questions, popular questions. So the only comparison criteria enum provides is based on the order, is based on the ordinal. So these extra points I had not said. So that is why I explained. So now let us get back on track. So everyone has completed this. I hope you have overridden this method also. So now tell me, where should we make the change? You have to make the changes in the date and lab. So do you want to make any changes in the employee class? It's a yes or no question. You need to make changes in the employee. Of course, yes. And what is it you are going to change? I'll wait here. I'll just tell you. You know, this has to be replaced by department and make the changes accordingly. I'll wait here for 2-3 minutes. I'll repeat my statement. You have to replace this string by the actual enum type, which is department. Do that. It'll just take you 2 minutes. You let me know whenever you complete. Only employee class. Don't worry about other classes. We'll do it systematically. Have you completed? You let me know whenever you have done it, please. Only employee class, make the changes. Okay. Some of you are saying done. I'll wait for another minute till more of you say. Only 3 have said done yet. I want more number, larger number. You understood, right? In employee class, you are replacing the string department ID, which can be anything, to the set of related constant. It was a pretty straightforward change. So what is it you are changing here is replace this by department and simply say control space. You are in the same package. We have just added an enum in the same package. So pick it up as department and department ID. And I'm giving you clue. So it finishes fast. You can see that there is a compiler error. So here, naturally, what is it we were expecting earlier, a string? So replace that also by the department. Okay. So that's it. These are the only 2 changes. Has everyone completed it, guys? Can we go ahead? Okay, so employee class is easiest to touch. See, the way we have written it, you don't have to change too many things. Now tell me, I'll literally open each and every class. Do you need to make any changes to this custom exception class just because we changed from string to department? Answer is no. There are no changes. Will you need to make the changes to validation rules? Of course, answer is yes. Everyone agrees? So now see the effect of modular programming. You know, here I'll ask you individually. So here you can see there is a problem somewhere. You can observe that. So this is the validate all inputs method, but it is simply calling the separate validation rules method. So which is the method you will have to modify? Tell me the name of the method. You know the name of the method to be modified. Yes, which one you need to modify? The validate department. Absolutely correct. So here, anyone wants to really, I would just want to discuss it with you and give you 5 minutes to change it. So tell me, change or no change? The input, change or no change? I need to see how are you clear or not. Answer is no change. User is still going to give you through that scanner the department name in a string. You got that? And now I'm telling you something more. Like how we use the switch casing for string, you can use the switch casing also for enum. Means what? Here you can convert it into the enum and switch it. So use that enum as a switch argument. But I'm saying you don't require. So I'm not going to give you any further clues. So what you can do is you can comment this, or you can delete it also. And here write some code. What is the kind of the code you'll have to write? Okay, before I talk about definition, please tell me change or no change. Return type, tell me change or no change. Return type is going to be changed. You are very right. What is the return type you are going to return? Here, anyone? Of course, it is a converter from string to department, string to enum. So it will be department. And now I'm giving you 2 minutes or okay, 5 minutes. Write this method definition. You know everything. Is everyone clear what is being asked? Write a one-liner or whatever liner, which will take in the string and return the enum. Write code. I'm waiting here. Which change? Previous change means this one. Who is it? Avinash, in the employee class you are meaning? See, in the employee class, we just change the data type from string to department. First change. Second change, in the constructor, all argument constructor, I replaced string by department. Second change. And the third change is here in that method. You got me? You understood? Okay. Yes, Nimish, it is right. Done? Okay. So you know which method to use. We just now revised it. Of course, you are going to use the value of method. So use static import, that is import static, and then you just have to type value of. So guys, first do that. So here you can say import static. Get used to the syntax. Find it difficult at all. Where is that? Whose method? Whose static method you want to use? Departments. So reach till department com.app.core dot department, and you can say control space, and you can see HR, marketing, R&D, sales. I don't know which department names you have added. In addition to that, there will be value of. So I hope you are slowly settling down in the syntax and you're getting more and more feel of it. So once you do that, all you can do is a one-liner. So parse the string into enum. And you know the method. So return, you can simply say value of, and what goes in is the department. But guys, can you trust the user that user is going to give you the uppercase values always? Of course not. So here you add, don't take chances. Here itself, you add department dot to uppercase. Understanding or not? So don't leave anything as a chance that user will always give me something. Unnecessary. Even users gives you correct value. Just because of the case, it may not work. So do it properly. Yeah, of course, I'll show you. Here, this is the import. Understand, import static. Then this value of method is of the enum department. So first I wrote the fully qualified class name of that department, and then I said value of. Okay, great. So you tell me, I'll wait here for a minute. You complete this method. Can you appreciate it? All that switch casing and all is not required. It has become much simpler. I'll just wait till everyone majority. See, you can always tell me to wait. Anytime you're lagging behind, just tell me your wait for a minute or so. I can wait. Line number 37. Yeah, so just wait for a while. We'll do all of that. Just wait. You can just take the cursor here and understand. So validate department. Somewhere I must have this. Yeah. So here I have a question before I solve that compiler error. Think and answer, guys. Is this required or no longer required? This throws clause should be kept or should be gone? Answer is no longer required because we are not creating a custom exception. We might bring it back later, but currently unnecessary. You should not have anything. It will confuse. I mean, you'll confuse in your own code. So don't do that. So here, let me see. So this is your validation rules. This is your employee, and I mean remove the unnecessary stuff. And now here in employee, I have done this changes. So why it is scribbling, I don't know. Let's see. Here, have I not saved it? It is saying new employee, department ID. Yeah, this is wrong. Anyone wants to correct? I'll tell you the mistake and you will correct it for me. What is the data type of your department ID, guys? String. But what is it your constructor requires now? Enum. So tell me how to correct this small part. Rohit, think about it. It is the mismatch of the type. So tell me. Tell me the solution, guys. It's a right in front of you. Okay, clue is on this line. No, 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 no. Yes, exactly. You just have to assign it. Okay, so see this, guys. Don't get confused after doing such a good work. Validate department method is anyway returning you, parsing it into department. So just assign it to the LHS. I'll tell you the shortcut again. Somebody was saying not clear with the shortcuts. Of course, you will not be. So one suggestion is you type it out. Department D is equal to validate department. But if you are lazy programmer, when I say you don't want to type too many things, rather you would learn. So here, what is the keystroke? Click on validate DEPT and say control 1. Control 1, I said. And you will see the third option, assign statement to a new local variable. And once you click enter, you can see that it has generated the others. You can have any variable name if you want. And now tell me, what is it you should pass here? DEPT ID or DEPT? Everyone knows the answer. So that was the mismatch we were having here. And the constructor we had already modified. This wasn't modified. So I'll wait here for a minute so that everyone finishes the changes. Last step, see this one. See, first, I don't know which part you have done it. So have you modified this method? Is this validate department method accepting a string and returning the department using value of, and please check whether you have removed that throws clause. You don't require it now. And then we come to here, line number 35. Earlier, I was just calling validation rules because input was a string and it was returning a string. But now this method is doing the conversion from string to enum. So I just clicked here control 1 and it gave me a chance to assign it to a new local variable. So I got this. So tell me, what is the data type of DEPT ID? You can read string. What is the data type of DEPT? It's a enum. And tell me, what is your employee class constructor requires? String department ID or this thing? What is it called? Enum department? String or enum? Answer is enum, which is what we changed, and that made the code work. That made the compiler work. Understood? Okay. So once you have done that, open the last one. The point of integration is tester. So check and tell me. See the way we have cleaned up the code here. Double click means expand, maximize, and tell me. This is the only line we have written here. Change or no change here. Is there any change required to be made in the tester? Of course not. Are you seeing the benefit? See, we refactored the code completely. Yesterday, everything was written inside this method. Today, we spent a lot of time, morning 2 hours almost, to refactor the code. And now the code looks much cleaner and simpler and easier to track, easier to manage. Agreed? So let us test it and confirm. So first give the rest of the data fine, but department name wrong, and see what happens. And then give the correct department name and see what happens. Let's test it in both the conditions. So here you can give any name, any number. And here I'm going to give the wrong inputs first. Rest of the inputs I'll give same. I'll give proper. And first name. Oh, it is 4 or this thing. So ABC, BCD, 4 to 15 it is. Then the email ID. I'm giving all the other valid inputs and I'm giving the wrong this. Department ID, there's nothing like ABC here. And join date. Doesn't matter really. The salary. So tell me, what did you observe? Is the code aborted or is it continuing to run? You check it with the wrong inputs. It is continuing. And do you see this? This is that error message, illegal argument exception, no enum constant of this particular type. Everyone got this? Okay, so tell me, are we throwing this as a custom exception or is JVM throwing it as a system exception? Now I think everyone would know what I'm talking about after spending so much time. Of course, it is a JVM. But guys, think from the end users. End user means client, the one who is running your code, the one who is using your code. So if you write this and if you give this error message, it may not be meaningful to the end user. What will be meaningful to the end user? What is that UI, UX? What is that user experience I want to give is here. I should be displaying that these are the department, or okay, forget that. If you want, you can do that also, that these are the valid departments to choose from. And if user gives something as weird as ABC, I want to give a proper error message saying that invalid department, you must choose from these names. I don't know whether you understood me. So I'll repeat it slowly. See, this is a working code. Working in the sense, we will give the correct one and we'll test it in 2 minutes. It will work. But I'm saying this is fine. This is perfect. But this error message, do you think a ordinary user, non-Java user, the end user client doesn't know Java? He's not a programmer. Will he understand this error message or will the simple error message such as invalid department, please choose from one of these. Which one will be better? Of course that people are already understanding it. So guys, even though your JVM is throwing this, it is fine. But we'll do something to give the simpler message. And somebody already gave me a clue using custom exception. So we will do that in next 2 minutes. But before that, let's just check whether if I give the correct department ID, is it working? So please check. You yourself check. I'm just going to copy this and give the correct department name. I don't have to give any this thing. What is it? Lower, uppercase and all. we are uppercasing it in our code. And you can see employee hired. And if you say display the details, observe, you try it, you give one of the correct department names, you will see employee has been hired successfully. And I hope you remember, everyone remembers that department ID equal to 0:cells. How it is, I mean, who has generated this? Is it your object's toString, enums toString, or the overriding form of your department's toString? Which option? First, second, third? It's a department's overriding form. I just wanted to show you that technically, if required, you can override the toString, but you cannot override that compare to, neither compare to nor equals. So, are we clear so far? Are you also getting the same test results? Check it both by giving the correct department and once giving the wrong one. Okay. So now let us do that final step, and then I'll tell you, I'll give you a fresh means in this only, but a new requirement which you have to solve. So let me say 3 currently, exit. So I'll repeat my requirement. What I want is, I want to replace this error message, department 0 output. Yes, of course, Madhuri. Wait a second. I'll first explain her the output. Open this one, Madhuri. Open department.java and check whether you have overridden the toString. So this is that toString which is getting called. So this is the toString it is calling. And what is it we have done? Ordinal. So I had given the name as cells. So what is the ordinal value of cells? 0. What is the constant name? Cells. And that is why I got that output. Can you see this? See, in toString of department. So it is of course calling our overriding form, and that is what explains the output. Are you clear? Understood? Very good. Okay. So now, yeah. So let me come back to our original question. The requirement is, I don't want to see this JVM's generated message, which is not very clear to the lame user, end user client. So I want to have an error message. I'm telling you what I want. I want the error message as invalid department ID or invalid department name. Please choose from, or these are the valid ones. So anyone wants to, I mean, everyone? Why employee ID not showing duplicated? This one here, the first one did not get inserted at all. The moment I gave the wrong department ID, you just check how many details. There was the first detail never got entered. So only one detail got entered with the value of 101. You understood me? You got it, Sudha? Okay, great. So that is this. So now, can we come back on, everyone has understood the output? Has everyone tested it? Then only you will get the confidence. So please do the rigorous testing whenever you get time. So now tell me, if I want to replace JVM's error handling, JVM's message by ours, which is the class I should open? Value of method showing error. This one, O is uppercase, Darshana. Value of O is uppercase. I think you have written it as lowercase. I don't know. Check this. Here, value of method name, O is uppercase. So I think you have written it as a lowercase. See, it is always following, guys. Method names always follow the camel casing. So value and the next letter is uppercase. Okay, any more questions? Any more errors before I give you the, solve the next task? Everyone done? Anyone wants me to wait further? Enum class, of course. I did not change it. Okay, I changed a little bit. So this is the enum class where I have declared certain constants. I don't know what you have declared. And this is your overriding form of the toString. Okay. Yes, of course, Ankit. I will send you the code. What I'll do is I'll create a zip of it and send you. So you can check wherever you are having a problem. D10 lab. And oh, sorry. No. I gave you the wrong one. Wrong. Discard that. Scratch that. D10 data I had already shared. I wanted to share D10 lab. I am sending you D10 lab.zip. Ignore that D10 data zip. And if anyone wants to share the screen because you are having problems, we can handle that. This is a lab session, so we have a lot of time and we have a lot of lab faculties also on the call. Anyone wants to share screen to have the help? If it is not working, tell us frankly. We can help you. So output, yes, of course, I'll show you. See, this is the, so check this, Abhijit, I guess. This time I had given the wrong input. What is wrong in that? Department name, I gave it as ABC. So I got this error message. And of course, one error, we are discarding all the inputs. So it gave you no enum constant and all that. Then I corrected it by giving the name of the department as cells. It is getting uppercase. It is matching with the enum constants. So it worked. You got it? So that is the output I'm talking about. Okay, anyone wants to share screen? Or are you all good? Anyone needs any help for coming to this level? Because I'm going to take you to the next level.
Yes, ma'am. Value of error आ रहा है.
Value of का O देखो कैसे है? There are two possibilities.
Capital
एक सेकंड मैं दिखाती हूँ. यहाँ पे see, I don't mind, but I think you can manage on your own. ये import static का problem होगा. So just check. Have you said import static com app core department dot value of? पहले वो import static करना पड़ेगा. किया है?
Okay, मैं कर रहा हूँ.
Got it? Okay, corrected.
हेलो मैम.
Yes, Avinash.
मैम मेरा डेट का एक्सेप्शन दिखा रहा है. करेक्ट डेट फॉर्मेट एंटर किया
तो फॉर्मेट ऐसे लगेगा. यू विल हैव टू गिव इट एज day/month/year. किया है ऐसे या कोई गलत फॉर्मेट? ओके, या एक सेकेंड. आई स्टॉप माय दिस. यू शेयर योर स्क्रीन. Show me the output. Double click on console. Let me see. Console दिखाओ. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Just a second. नहीं, मैं देख रही हूँ. I'm looking at it. Invalid join date format. So 200. Employee ID first name, last name is fine. Email ID is fine. Then you have the department ID is fine, and 12/3/1987. Okay. Show me your employee class. Employee class दिखाओ. Yes. See line number 24. Anyone wants to tell him his mistake? MM का M क्या चाहिए? Upper case या lower case? It is upper case. Lower case M, this one, Avinash, means minutes. Save it and try it. It's a case sensitive pattern. You can keep this string, this data stored somewhere. So every time you don't have to type too much. Initializer error, just a second, Shraddha. I'll finish with this one, Avinash, and then you can share your screen next.
Yes, okay.
You are it? But still you got that.
still.
Alright, joining date should be after that, na? After 2021 चाहिए, 1st of April. So उसके बाद का date देना. So this one, Avinash, copy the whole thing and just change the year to 2022 or something. Yeah, after that say enter. 11 नहीं, 1. Control V, paste it, and shift year change it to 2022. 21 भी चलता. Anyway, you got it? And now just like two करो, 2, display all employees information. And we'll see the join date is also fine, department is also fine. So you are good. You can stop sharing.
Okay. Thank
Shraddha,
you.
tell me. Sure, you're most welcome. Show me. You want to share screen, Shraddha?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, no, show me the output, right? And then need code mat dikhana. Show me that. I will see
Okay.
the output. What console dikhao, console. Arey, there was error. Double click on console. It will automatically maximize, right? हाँ, करो. 101 option नहीं है. 1. Hello, Shraddha. Option number first.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It is between 4 and 15. I don't know what checks you have done. Anyway, you show me your error. I will help you.
Okay, ma'am.
Department and HR चलेगा कुछ. 21 के बाद का है. But anyway, you give me. You show me what error. नहीं दिखाओ. करते हैं इसमें ये आ जाएगा. It should show you the exception. Yeah. So it is saying null pointer. See this. This one. Who is it? Shraddha. Others also
Yes,
please
ma'am.
look at it because it will help you understanding. So it is giving us the giving her error exception initializer, but root cause caused by देखना चाहिए. तो caused by बोल रहा है null pointer. So Shraddha, now click on that validation rules.java. नहीं वहाँ पे नहीं. Hello Shraddha. Validation
yes, ma'am.
rules.java 20. उसमें उस पे क्लिक करो. आगे हाँ उस पे क्लिक करो. So that is where you are getting a null pointer. करो click on that. So that will take you to the line number. तो यहाँ
Yes,
पे
ma'am.
आ रहा है exception. So line number 20, this line number. So it means your SDF is null. See, on line number 20, Shraddha, you got a null pointer. That tells us clearly SDF is null. तो दिखाओ मुझे, ऊपर जाओ. Have you import static that null this? Show me SDF. Import static employee से किया है. Show me employee class please. Employee में हुआ है या नहीं? You have got where is that public static simple date format SDF. Static SDF equal to अरे वो new simple date format you forgot. Line number 19. Shraddha, वो उसमें
yes,
new you
ma'am.
forgot. New SDF equal to new simple date format.
Yes, ma'am.
So you did not create the object at all. Yeah, save that and run it again. One more thing. Before running ना ये copy कर दो data 101 ABC. ABC element नहीं चलेगा. Anyway, run the code again. You understood, right? You had forgotten to create the instance.
Yes, ma'am.
So it was giving that initializer issue. I was telling you, copy that line so that typing would have been avoided.
Yes, ma'am. I got now.
You're going to get an exception.
Name नहीं चलेगा वो.
Name नहीं चलेगा. But let her realize that. Let her see that. Because once you see your own error, next time you won't do that. So see that. Now that earlier your exception is gone and it is telling you properly invalid first name must be within 4 to 15.
4 to 15.
Okay? And you gave ABC element. So now give the proper data. 1 karo. Type 1 again.
Yes, ma'am.
101 to theek hai. Now give the 4. Minimum 4. So yeah, something. Give the similar last name. Email ID is okay. Department ID is also okay. And date, give date after 1st of April 2021. So you can say 1/6/2021. Kuch bhi. Anything after April. And some salary. Salary we are not validating. So you can give any value. Okay, so this is done. Now say display details. Display details karo. So you'll know exactly whether it is working. And you can check whatever data is all. Yeah, it is all coming fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Understood it?
Yes,
There was only new
got it.
missing. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
You
Thank
can
you,
stop
ma'am.
sharing. Sure. Anybody else? So anyone else needs help? Okay, so we'll continue. So has everyone completed? I take it people have completed it. So I told you the problem statement. What is the? It's not a problem exactly, but a better coding, better explanation. So I want to replace this error message by the better one, by the simpler one, such as invalid department. Please choose from the, or the valid department names are this. So anyone wants to tell me which is the class you want to open for making this change? Is it an employee class? Okay, I got the answer already. Of course, validation rules. Everyone agrees? So please open. First you say Control Shift W. Close everything. Otherwise, you must have opened some earlier classes and all. It becomes confusing. Confusion hota hai bahut. So, D10 lab ka validation rules kholo. Tell me, which method you want to, only one method has to be modified. There are no changes anywhere else. कौन सी method edit करोगे? Validate department. Very right. So come to validate department. This is the method. So tell me, currently, who is detecting the errors and throwing it in our code? Is it a programmer or is it a JVM? It is a JVM. Everyone agrees with me? Everyone is understanding what is going on? So can you tell me how to replace the JVMs? Replace it, yani, how to add your custom exception and handle it and all that? Anyone wants to suggest? See, I can always suggest an answer, but it is great if you can give me the answer. Is the problem statement clear? Is the requirement clear? I don't want to see that no enum constant. I want a simpler message. So kya karoge? Absolutely correct, Prashant. So here, for a change, wrap this particular line. This line may give you that illegal argument exception. So wrap this line in a try-catch block. Okay, surrounded by try-catch. And you can say just catch all, but actually which is the exception which may come here? Illegal argument exception. Okay, so here illegal argument exception. I'm doing only one step at a time so that people are clear. Of course, there will be a compiler error, so forget that. We'll fix it soon. Done this much? So this is called as method level handling. Immediate method level handling. And now anyone wants to tell me, what should I do here? We have caught the exception which JVM has raised. So anyone wants to tell me, what should we do in the catch block? Yes. So now here we are going to create our own exception and throw it in the code. So what is the syntax? So write it properly. Catch illegal argument exception and or okay, I'll write it the simpler manner because we have already got it. So create, or I'll say throw custom exception with suitable message. You got that? So everyone knows how to use the throw keyword. So start with throw. Rest all, you tell me. What is it you want to continue? Because it's your lab session. Okay, so throw new employee handling exception is what Yogesh has suggested. So here, throw new. You have that same exception, employee handling exception. And what will be the error message you will supply here? Invalid department. Okay, so sorry. And the moment you do this, you have a problem. So what is why there is a compiler error? Why there is a, did I not say new? I said new. Then why there is a problem? Yes, it's a checked exception. Compiler forces the handling of the checked exception. So this I don't want to handle further. So naturally delegate it using throws employee handling exception. See if your compiler errors are all gone. See, there are different solutions. There are 10 different ways. to write and to get the whatever desired output you are. We are not yet done. So please wait, give me more minutes. Finished so far? So you have, yes, check the exception is not handled. So what is, everyone is clear what we are doing? We are catching this illegal argument exception, which is due to wrong invalid department name. And we are catching that JVM system exception and rethrowing it as your custom exception. Clear? So if the user gives, don't run it. I'm just talking to you. I'm just asking you. So when you run this code, and if you give the wrong department name, what is the error message you expect to see? This will be whatever, a custom exceptions dot employee handling exception and invalid department name. Understood the output? I mean, I'm not saying you run it. I'm just telling you. But that doesn't solve my complete problem. This is fine. This is great. But I want to have a message that these are the valid department names. So how will I get those valid departments? You know the answer. Of course, it is values. You okay? So before we do that, first, modify that enum. You don't want that enum. See, go to the enum. This was just done to show you that you can override toString. Otherwise, everywhere that 0 cells, 1 R&D, something will come. So now you can comment it. If you want, you can keep it as it is. But the point is, purpose is over. Come back here. And now let us see. Okay, it's a small task, but I want you to understand it. So I want to add all that information. Which information, guys? This is your invalid department. Please choose from, or valid departments are here. So I want to add all of this as the error message. So recall yesterday's thing. You remember we talked about string handling classes yesterday. So which one out of from below is your this thing? What is it called? A mutable string, modifiable string. Is it a string class or is it a string builder class? It's a string builder. So yesterday I could not give you any opportunity. So this is your opportunity. So here I'm writing it and then I'll wait for 5 minutes and we'll see whether you can manage. So create a string builder. This will be revising your yesterday stuff. Create a string builder object. Initialize it with this whatever message, invalid department, and append to that the message such as you use the values method, and that values method will return you. These are the valid department names. And in that string builder, there is an append method, right? So I just wanted to show you the growable string and the usage of it. I'm not sure whether you got all of that. So let us do it properly together. Create a string builder object, initialized with the error message. Write some comments so you'll understand. Why I'm choosing string builder? With string also I can do. But when you say concatenate or plus, every time a new string gets created. Unnecessary wastage of memory. So start with that. String builder equal to new. And we have so many constructors of string builder. The one is with the string. And this you take it as the invalid department. I'm saying at a time. About the compilers, we'll fix all of them. I just want to show you, apply yesterday learned things such as string builder. You let me know whenever you have done it. So, string builder has two things, length and the capacity. So you can find out how many characters plus 16 will be the total capacity. Now tell me, is there any way I can concatenate and append to the string builder? Of course, yes. So here, start b dot append. And what is it you want to append? You want to append the message. Which message? That is invalid department. You can add new line. \n is for. So on the first line you will get an error message, invalid department. Great. And now you want to say the valid departments are, or valid departments. And see, I want to revise your yesterday stuff. When you say sb.append, so here new string builder object will be created, or the appending will be done to the same existing string builder, same or new? Answer is same. Can I further call it? Answer is yes. So I can say sb.append. And now you have already told me how to get all the enum names, department.values. So if you want, you can directly say here department.values. But this will call the toString. So does anyone remember how to convert the array to its string equivalent? Arrays class. See, so we are using, I'm not showing you anything which is new. We're just using the earlier stuff. So here you can say arrays dot toString. Okay. And here you can supply. Okay, you can be even lazier. That is, you can import static, but sometimes people get problems in that. So let me change it for example, department.values. So observe what is happening. I'm doing it with you. You can take your own time. Invalid department. Valid departments, we get concatenated, and then we are printing. You can have a semicolon or something, colon, and this is getting appended. So anyone wants to tell me what will be the contents of SB now? The first line will be invalid department, and then valid department and their name. And now it is one liner. What is it I should pass here as the argument? Anyone? Okay, if you pass SB, you will have a problem. Compiler error, because this constructor requires a string. So here, how do you convert anything to string? To string, and the job will be done. So I'll wait here for 5 minutes. You understand the code line by line. I'm not at all saying that this is all compulsory. I just wanted to revise your string builder. So I asked you to write it. Anyway, I'll wait here. And then we will test. You can test. Okay, don't start testing. I have one more statement to make. You let me know whenever you have done it, so I can explain it once again if you want as a quick recap, and then I'll say something more. Okay, some of you have done it. I'll just wait for another minute or so. Let everyone finish it. Oh yes, of course I'm going to repeat Rohit and Swapnil, but I'm just waiting for people to finish the typing part. So just wait for another 2 minutes and I'll re-explain. Okay, can I explain, guys, or are you still typing? Is your typing part, the coding part done? So I can talk to you then. Okay, so here observe. Go very what is it, slowly. So first line is here. Initially we were not doing any of it. So I'm not at all saying this is compulsory, but if you see some code or if you see the need, you should know how to. So let us look at line number 67. So what is happening here? It is calling department dot value of, in goes the constant name and it tries to parse it into enum. So start responding, guys. If I give the invalid department name, what is the exception? Which is the exception your JVM will throw? It is a illegal argument exception. Everyone comfortable so far? So which is, so if you want to change the JVM's default error message to your custom message, what is the trick? Trick is you catch this exception yourself. Okay, so I have caught it. I can do it in the tester also, but in the tester it becomes very messy. So generally the norm is keep it in the method. So we have caught. So is everyone clear? When the control will come to line number 17, in case of valid department name or invalid, answer valid or invalid. Simple, easy questions I'm asking you. Of course, invalid. Now start solving it line by line. So here, what is happening? One string builder object is getting created in the memory. So you can imagine string builder class loaded in the method area, string builder object, and string builder has length and a capacity. And what will be the contents of that string builder? Invalid department followed by new line. So we have created, this is the reference, this is the object. So we have created one object referred to by SB. So tell me honestly, honestly means openly. Is everyone clear so far? Line number till line number 70. Okay. So now tell me, what is the main difference between string and a string builder? Main difference between string versus string builder. String is immutable. String builder is modifiable, as in mutable. So answer the next question. When you call the append method, here in the memory diagram in the heap, will another string builder object gets created with the concatenated content such as invalid department and valid department, or will the same string builders contents will be modified? Same or new? Everyone understood? Existing one, exactly, precisely. So now anyone wants to tell me, after this, if you are not sure, you can just add a SOP for your, anyway, I'm going to show you attaching debugger. So if I say SB, println method calls SB.toString. So anyone wants to tell me, what will be the output here? Invalid department, a new line, and followed by valid departments. Are we completely clear? Got it? Now, so now go to the next line. Always solve it from inner to outer. So which is the innermost thing? Department dot values. Can I replace it by only values? Can I remove that department dot type? Yes, but then you have to use import static. So your call. If you want to reduce it further, simply add a one more thing at the top, and you can have import static com app core.department.star. So currently I'm keeping it as it is. So please tell me, what does this highlighted line return? What does that values method return? Type it out so I'll know. Yeah, but which array, Avinash? I want the, no, don't give me just array. Type of the array I want. You're right, but I want better. Yeah, department array is the perfect answer because I don't have to ask anything. Okay, so department array. But now, if I just pass to this sb.append department array, again it will call that toString of that array object, which has the hash code. So is there any method which will take some array and give me the string representation? Answer is yes. So just take the cursor here. You just have to take the cursor over toString and see this. Returns a string representation of contents of the specified array, which is what we want. So anyone wants to tell me, what will this return? I'm asking you precise questions so that you can give me precise answers. What will this return? Let me see. Yeah, string. But what kind of a string, Avinash? That will be within the square brackets. And what will come in the square brackets? What are the enum constants we are having? So within the square bracket, you will see sales, comma, HR, comma, marketing, comma, R&D. So that was our intention. So this is what is the explanation of internal code. And I'm appending this string to my string builder. So now again the same question. If you put a SOP, sysout, SB, what all it will contain? It started with invalid department. Then it is going to tell valid departments are, and this comma separated list of department names. Are we good? Are we understanding it totally? Yes, exactly, Yogesh. You're absolutely right. Okay. And now what I wanted to do is I wanted to take this entire string builder and pass it because it is containing my message. So if you do simply SB, it throws us out as a compiler error. Why? Because if you check this custom exception ka constructor, the constructor requires a string. So how do you convert any type of object to string? Simply call it toString method. So that is that whole string builder is converted to string, and that string you are passing as the error message. Is the code completely clear now? You understood it step by step? All of you? 100% of you, not just 20 out of 200. Okay, so now is the time to test. So save this. Should not get any compiler errors and all, and run this. Give the wrong department ID to see the error message. Give all other things, earlier things, say, correct. Otherwise, you'll never reach there. Give the wrong name, the join date. And the salary. So check whether, okay, that invalid department came again. I'll just, oh, sorry, that SOP, because of that SOP it is coming. So see the actual message. You can comment those SOPs. So invalid department, and the valid departments are these. And this is because of all SOP, and actual output is, this is that full error message. And this is what you are going to show it to user. If you are confused, don't be confused. So if you have added, I just wanted to explain it. So now please comment all these SOPs. Otherwise, you don't understand what is happening. And please copy that data, copy that line. Otherwise, it takes so much time to type it again. Save, make all the changes. All I did is commented those SOPs and run it. And check. Is this a meaningful error message now? You have chosen the invalid department. Valid departments are these, and the code retries. See if it is working. And if you say, okay, now I have done my testing, I know my code is working. After that, the last and final cleanup you can do is, now you don't want all of this. You just want to display the error message. So you can say SOP e.get message. I'm just sorry, get localized message you don't need here. Get message is sufficient. And it will be even clearer. I said SOP toString. I'm just replacing it by get message, and see how clear, how clean it looks. Running it again with the same data. And you can see this is the only information you need to show it to user. You have chosen the invalid department, and these are the valid departments, and continue. And of course, you give the correct details also, just to confirm whether it is working, and it says hired properly and displays the details. So please check it thoroughly and confirm whether you understood my suggestion, the latest one, which whatever we did. Is it all clear? I'll wait for everyone's confirmation. Which last step, Omkar? I did the last step as here. I just changed. Just open your tester class open and say catch all. In that catch all, I commented this line number 60 and I just wrote instead of that e.getMessage through SOP. So I'm not printing the location. I'm not printing the name of the class. All I'm printing is the error message. This was the last change. You got it, Omkar? Okay, try it out. I'll wait here. I'm showing you the console also side by side. So this is what it is. It is showing you invalid department and the valid departments are. So you can tune. You can give the error message as you want. You can customize it. That was the whole thing. I'm waiting for your response. So whenever you complete, do let me know. Test it in both the cases, valid department ID, invalid department ID, and see if it is reflecting. Reflecting means if it is showing you all those changes correctly. So I'll share the code. I don't think anyone needs it. Okay, I'll share it after a while. Okay. Anyone wants me to wait or has everyone finished it? You tell me without hesitation, wait for a while. I can always wait. But you have to tell me that. Anyone wants me to wait before I ask you? I'm going to ask you to write one question on your own, one objective on your own, just to confirm. Okay, people are still taking time, so let's wait for another 2-3 minutes. Any code you want to see? Tell me, I can show you that. Whatever, like you need. Validation rule code, yes, this one. This is your validation rule. Validate department. I'll send you, Shraddha. So take a look at it. Yeah, Akshay, just a minute. So Shraddha, I have sent you this validate department ka code. And here, this one, Akshay, I guess. What I did is, see, this was done earlier just to prove a point. That is, you can overwrite toString. So after that, I had commented it. So that is why my output is looking cleaner. When I say this, when you say values, see this, when you say values, in your case, if you are not commented that, you will see 0:cells, 1:HR. So that could be confusing you. So please check. I have commented this toString. Was that your query, this one, Akshay? Yeah. Shraddha, you are also managing that code, I hope. I'll wait here for 2-3 minutes. Everyone finish it. Okay, yeah, I thought so. So comment from that toString. But it is okay, Shraddha. Even if you don't comment that toString, what will change is, what is the only change which you'll have is from that console, you will simply get 0:sales, 1: HR. I'm fine with that. As long as you're understanding, that is fine. You can change it anytime. Okay. So that's absolutely fine. Just a second. I'm in the middle of writing a next question. Give me a minute, okay? I'll be with you, Rishikesh. Just a minute. So invalid employee ID display error message via custom exception. Next is in case of valid employee ID, apply salary increment. I'll say this. Okay. So yeah, Rishikesh, you had a question to ask. Tell me. You wanted to ask. You had raised hand. You can unmute anytime. Lab is fine. Anytime you want to unmute, you can.
No मैम गलती से आपको हो गई.
Okay, ठीक है. So you don't have. So guys, tell me, have you finished the current part? Can I ask you a new small part of assignment? Can we add more? Because when you add more and more functionalities, you will have a better clarity. So read my problem statement. So here, you are going to add another option. Currently, you'll say 1, 2, 3 are all done. So we will add that exit option will shift it to 10. So understand the requirement first. This is your updation. So see, you have recruited, hired employees and all. And after a while, you want to transfer the employee from one department to another department on a promotion. Okay. So what are the two things you are accepting? Sorry. What are the three things you are accepting from user? Which employee? So what is the unique ID for employee? Employee ID. So we'll figure it out. And this is your new department ID. So for example, user was working in, not user, employee in sales. He wants to get transferred to HR, something like that. Okay. So new department ID will be HR. And again, I'm saying salary increment. So this is only the bonus or additional value. So original salary plus salary increment will be this. So you are not giving the new salary value. You are just supplying the salary increment. We had done something similar. So I think you should be clear. So now what is the expected output? User might give you the wrong employee ID, correct? So in case of invalid employee ID, tell me, can you really change this department ID and the salary? Can the code this? Of course not. So throw him out, showing the error message. But anytime now you give me error, it has to be done by throwing custom exception, catch all and everything. It will be interesting to write. And suppose, so if the code continues, what does that mean? That means I have found a valid employee. So in case of valid employee ID, now you have to accept a new department ID. But you know that this is now enum. you can accept anything. So validate new department ID. If it is matching with proper one, in case of success, now you know that you have found the employee ID. The one where you want to transfer, new department ID is also correct. So then change the department, that is modify the department and also update the salary. So forget about how you are going to do it. But has everyone understood the question? Is the question clear? Is the requirement clear? Okay. 100% of you are clear? Because if anyone has not understood the question, tell me. This is the good time to ask questions. Because if the question is not clear, how will you solve? Nobody is having any doubts or confusion. So let's solve it together. Okay, what I'll do is I will send you this. Wait a second now. So that you know the question should be in front of you. I'll this one. Wait just a second. So here I'm sending you. Wait, where is that file? I'll just check. It is under PGDAC. Okay, fine. So first I'm sending you this file, guys. So you know you can open that and you can read it on your own also. I'll upload it on Google Drive later. So tell me, have you got it? Downloaded? You did not get it, Yogesh? I mean, has nobody got it? The file, core Java assignments.txt? Got it. Just send it to, some of you are saying no. So please send it on your WhatsApp group because I'm not on that WhatsApp group. So share it with each other. Put it on the WhatsApp and they can get it. Or I can quickly put it on a Google Drive so that you don't have to take the efforts. I'll upload it. Wait a second. So you can get it either from the Google Drive or from your WhatsApp group or wherever. And just check whether you have this additional assignment there. That's okay, Rohit. I can repeat, no problem. Okay, so I'm repeating once again quickly, but what is the new option we are going to add in the tester is updation. Update means update the existing details. So what are the two fields you are going to update from the employee? Her salary and her department. So I am telling you the scenario. You are sending the employee, you are transferring the employee from one department to another on a promotion. That's the use case. So what are the inputs you will require? You will need employee, whose promotion you are having? Employee ID, which is the new department ID, and what is that salary figure? What is that increment you want to give? Okay. So first is we have to check the employee ID. If it is invalid, then nothing can be done further. So just a custom exception and we'll give an error message, invalid employee ID or employee not found types, you know. But if user has given the correct employee ID, now what is it you are going to read is new department value. But you know, a user can give any department or misspell it. So you will have to now validate the new department ID. And if it is also matching, if it is one of those cells, HR and all that, then in that case, update the users. Earlier, he was earlier working for one department. Now you are transferring him to another one. So change department and give the salary increment. So this is what is the objective. Rohit, are we clear? Okay, so now let's start. You have got the question problem statement also. So now let me see everything you are going to tell me. First thing is you can terminate your running application. You can say Control Shift W. Control Shift W for close all. Okay, so anyone wants to tell me what will you start with first? I'll ask you. I'll give you a lot of help. So here, the enum, change or no change. For this assignment solving, change or no change. Of course, no change. Why would you change anything? Employee, change or no change? Of course, there is a change. Tell me, guys, what change? What is it you'll have to add? Will you require getters or will you require setters? Getter for ID you will require? No, you will not require get ID, Suprabha. We are going to find it from your equals. So you will not require get ID. You will definitely, you will understand. If you are not sure, don't worry. We will confirm it, and if required, we will add. But you want to change the department as well as salary. So here, come to the end, and you want to add the setters. Setters for what? The department also and the salary also. So if you want to write it public void etc., you can. So let's write one and let's generate the other one. So here, let us write the setter for department. You should have full practice in that. Setters are always public void, and the method name starts with set and then takes the name of the variable. So what is the variable name? Department ID. You know, literally copy pasted. So here, set department ID, and Java always suggests camel casing. So set department ID, and anyone wants to tell me what will be the argument here? The department is a very right answer, the enum basically. So department, and you can give again the norm is this, and here then you can say this dot department ID equal to department ID. So in case you want to practice, you've forgotten suppose how to write a setter, you can always write. And the next one is easy for setter salary. So I'll generate that. If you want to write it on your own, absolutely go ahead. If you want to do it from here, source, select setters and getters, I mean generate. Sorry, I don't want the full thing. So I'll just generate the salary. Oh, sorry. Get salary also will require, my mistake. You have to get the existing salary and increment it. So guys, you'll require both. So tell me, is the first step clear? First change done? Okay. Now, here, let's go to the next level. So here, open the next one which we had written together, and here is the validation rules. So this validation rules is not only validation rules, but any API also. We can, any methods you can add. So right now, let me not go it this way, do it this way. I want to talk to you. I want to find out your thoughts. So tell me, if this is the requirement, we have given that getters, those getters and setters. Just answer one question at a time. How will you find out? User is going to give you employee ID. Fine. So from employee ID, how will you find out whether it is valid or invalid? You understood my question? Do one job at a time. How will you find out? How will you validate? Okay, validate employee ID. Fine, Prashant, I accept it. So tell me, where will you add this method validate employee ID? In which class you will add it, guys? Validation. No. Validation rules. Yes, Yogesh and Suprabha is right. Validation rules. Okay, so validate employee ID. Can you tell me what will be the okay? It will be public static. I'm going to give you 5 minutes or 10 minutes to write it right now. Okay, there's not much time. 5 minutes maybe. So, or maybe we'll write it together. That will be faster. So, what will be it? Public static. Anyone wants to tell me what will be the return type? Because you know, I can have any, I mean, so many options exist. Return type of validate employee ID. So Mohad, you are saying again Boolean. Because see, if you say Boolean, again checking and all. So I got int. So majority I got int. If you give me int, all it is returning is what? Employee ID? No. So you mean it as employee ID. But then again I'll have to find it out. So guys, yes, 2 only answered correctly. The valid correct answer is let in go the employee ID and let it return the employee type of reference itself in case of valid employee ID. And in case it fails, you don't find any employee, throw the exception. So since there is a less time, let us get into coding also. So please open. The whole idea of coding along is giving you confidence so that when I give you the independent assignment, you would have already understood it and you will find it very easy. So let's go to the end, bottom, and here add a comment. So add a static method for validating employee ID. Okay. So, you write a detail. So you make your own thoughts clear. Then once you know what is to be done, how part implementation comes easily. So here, what should happen? This method should throw custom exception in case of agreed. I'll give you the comments also. And return, it should return the employee reference encapsulating. See guys, I hope you have started getting used to the terms. You have been hearing it for last 10 days almost. Encapsulating all, encapsulating complete employee details. So this is what is we are going to do. So I'll give you this. I'll send you on chat as a comment. So that, once you are clear that this is what is requirement, you will end up writing the code faster. So start. So start with that public static. I hope you realize why that Boolean and int I'm not accepting. Let the method slog, let method work internally. So here, keep it as employee. If you're still not convinced, give me 5 minutes to wait. Okay, whatever minutes, everyone will understand. And here I'm saying, you can say get employee details, you can say validate employee ID, anything suitable. And anyone wants to tell me. This is a good question. Think and answer. What should be the argument of this method? Employee should be the argument, Yogesh. Think again. Okay, because employee is what you are returning, Yogesh. Employee ID accepted, and only employee ID. Employee ID is fine. Exactly. Yash is right. You have, where is your data? Where is your data? No amount, no salary increment. Here you are just validating, Ankit, the employee exists or not. If it exists, return the reference. So where is our data? You remember we had written a very similar thing earlier somewhere. I forgot the name of it. Yeah, duplicate, check for duplicate or something was there. So validate, check for duplication. Where's my, yeah, valid. Oh, I got the same thing. Sorry, validate employee ID is the same name we have taken. So please change it. So here, otherwise you can have a problem, ambiguity. Similar thing we are going to do. Only thing is, instead here it was returning that employee ID. We are returning the employee reference. A very tiny change you are doing. So please change the name. Give the suitable name. Get employee details. It's going to be almost similar. Later I'll show you. Collection framework gives you all these as a ready-made methods. So your job is going to reduce. So the signature will be the same. Int employee ID. And here you give the employee array data. You can give any variable name as you know. I have explained this while we were writing it together. So now I'm giving you a minute. I know it is 6:01, so we'll just stretch it by another 5 minutes. Yes, you can pass that also. You can pass that also, Yogesh, not an issue. So currently you can do whatever you want. You can pass either employee array or like he said, Bharags also is possible. So now tell me, how will you work? Everything is the same. So first thing is, from this employee ID, create a new employee reference. It is almost the code, only little different. So here, but don't copy paste from earlier one, write it. So I can say, oh sorry, employee, new employee or whatever. You can give a variable name, whatever you want. I'm using the similar one, new employee. And all I have got is the employee ID here. And I hope everyone remembers, for checking whether the two employees are same if their IDs are same. So here the duplication, this was checking for duplicates. So here we are just checking for equals. So start with the checking. For each employee, I'm getting the wrong intelligence. For each employee, E in EMPS. First do the null checking. If E is not equal to null, and after that you write the code. I'm waiting here for 2 minutes because otherwise, like, I'm stopping your thinking. You don't require it, Yash. You don't have to say get employee ID. You have already done it in the equals method. There is an answer here. Only thing is slightly things are changing. I don't want to. You don't, I'm telling you, Yash, you don't call get employee ID at all. Your equals method is what you are going to call. I'll wait for 2 minutes. If E is not equal to null, what is it you want to do? Yes, absolutely correct. But give me the full 2-3 liner code, remaining code, please. Type it out and then show me what you are writing. So of course you have to call the equals method. That goes without saying. Okay, looking at time, I'm not stretching this. So here, if E dot equals, what will be the argument? New employee. So now tell me, if this returns true, what does it mean? Is the has the employee ID found or not found? Absolutely correct. So here answer is he is found. So if you have found the match, what is the point in going ahead and looking through the rest of it? So simply you say return a small question. Should I say return E or should I say return new EMP? E or new EMP, please? Of course, the answer is E because new employee does have only the employee ID. And I want to return the complete details. So here, short circuit. Short circuit means this loop will get over. And if you come down, what does it imply? It implies that employee ID is not found. So here you throw the exception. Isn't it very similar to what we did? Only that time we were looking for a duplicate. Here you are trying to get the employee details. So here you can say throw new. Somebody had already given me the complete code. So employee handling exception. And here the error message invalid. Or you can simply say employee not found. And the reason is invalid employee ID. So, of course, you know the ritual now. You don't want to, this is your unhandled checked exception. I don't want to handle it here. So add it into throws class. So tell me, I'm going to share this much of a code because the remaining code you are going to write on your own. Looking at time, I don't want to stretch it too much. But I'll wait till everyone understands this part of the code. So if for the best understanding, visualize some data. So suppose you have this data and the employee ID which user gave was, let's say 20. You should always hand compute. You should always go through the loop. Anyway, I'm waiting. Have you finished your coding part, typing part? Can I explain the code with some data? So imagine you have recruited 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 employees and their IDs are, let's say 10, 1, 100, 20 and 50. And user gave me the employee ID who is getting promoted, transferred on a promotion, the employee with ID 20. So start. When you say for each goes from beginning to end. So when you say for the first iteration, what is the E pointing to? E1. So tell me, is 10 equal to 20? Of course not. It is not equal to null, and return, equals method returns what? False. So it doesn't go here. Goes to the next iteration. Tell me, in next iteration, which two ID values will be compared? In the second iteration, which two values will be compared? Of course, 1 with 20. Again, this returns false. Next one. Next iteration, 120. Again false. This is a sequential linear searching. When I show you something called as maps, hash maps and all, then only you can see the, then only you can see the constant time performance and all. So anyway, don't worry about that. Now, what is it you are comparing? 20 with 20. So tell me, what will be this returning? Equals method will return what? True or false? True. And the moment you get true, will it continue to testing further? Of course not. I'm returning E, and E is nothing but a pointer or a reference pointing to fourth employee's complete details. So that is what is returning to the caller. But the moment I make the ID as 200, tell me, is 200 matching with any of the earlier employee IDs? No. So in that case, after the complete iteration, what will happen? It doesn't find, it doesn't return anything. So then the control comes to line 121. And here is where you are throwing the custom exception to the caller. Are both cases clear? Valid employee ID and invalid employee ID? Okay, so because I'm going to stop here, but of course with a minute's explanation. So now tell me, from where you will call this method? Which class, from which class you will call this method? Tester. So that is your homework, lab work. So you add another option and call this method. You know, import static, you know everything. Tomorrow morning, when in the first 10 minutes, I'll solve the remaining part. But I want to give you the time for that. Now, if the employee ID is not found, the code will, the inner try block will abort. So the control will not come to the next line. If the control comes to the next line, then you can ask user, then you can read two more values, the department ID and the salary increment. So now think and answer. Are you going to blindly accept any department ID or are you going to validate? You're going to validate, right? So now tell me, for validation, do we already have a method or are you going to write a new one? You already have. See, this is reusability. Your own API we have written. So you're just going to call it. So which method we will call? Rather, you will call. You have this method already. So in goes that department ID, and either it will return you past enum or it will throw the exception. See guys, you don't have to say Boolean, nothing. Automatically, the flow of execution will be altered. That's the beauty of your exception handling, right? So that will happen. If the control comes to the next line, what it means? Employee is also found and the new department is also valid. So now what is the last job, last bit you will do? You will call those setters. You remember those setters we added. So on that employee, call set department and pass the new department ID, whichever you validated. And how will you apply the increment to the salary? User is going to give you increment figure. So how will you do that? Salary increment kaise karoge? We have done this, I think, somewhere earlier. Setter and a getter bhi lagega, Sandeep. So it will be something like e dot set salary in the bracket e dot get salary plus increment. Yes. So tell me openly, do you think you will manage the rest of it? Will you at least try? Okay. So try this out. You will automatically gain more. Yeah, a little bit you are saying. Akshata, no problem. So give yourself time tomorrow till tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning anyway, the first thing when I revise and all, we will solve it together. So that is all from my side. I'll be uploading these changes on the Google Drive and create a zip. So if you have lagged behind or you did not catch up with some of the changes, you will get the latest updated code and then you can continue further. So anything, any more questions before I log off? Any specific things? Anyone wants to share the screen to show anybody's error and all that? Okay, so I'm not getting any questions. So guys, that will be all for today. Try working out on this assignment so that you will get a chance to revise everything. Otherwise, we will solve it together tomorrow. That will be all. Have a great evening. See you tomorrow.